Yeah, like so I guess let's go back to that first question, the announcement, I guess, too. So currently, my other half is in Toronto, and that's always been the plan. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go out for like 8 months or so. She's going to finish off her internship, and then we'll probably come back here and I'll line up another grow somewhere. But in the meantime, this is something that I'm going to try to do is like, we're going to do a little more of like cooked and caffeinated. We're going to do more fog and grow. We're going to come on as many shows as possible and just talk and make sure that we can spread some love and form this community the way it is and just kind of like do our thing. But I am going to start showing people like just simple stretches and simple movements and some of the science behind some of these exercises and stuff. Because like, this is the way I see it now. Like, everybody can put up pictures of weed, right? Like we can all put up pictures of weed. We can all, and there's some amazing photographers and reel makers and growers, and it's amazing. Yeah. But like I have this one common thing that I find is a lot of people have come to this amazing plant and they've started growing because of some form of injury or an accident or an illness or something that's kept them off their feet. And that's a serious story that I hear so often. So now these people have bad backs and they have sore knees and they have this like posture that's hurting them and defeating them and this lifestyle that's like holding them down. So like if I can like show you guys just a few simple stretches, a few simple little things, like we're not here to bro out. You don't have to throw weights over your head. The majority of it is just like smart body weight movements and a few things. If I can like help you with that, because like there's a lot of amazing people out there that can help you grow your weed. But I'm a certified personal trainer. Like I know the way I said that sounded so funny, but like I can help you with this. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. Are you thinking it's not a like gym bro? Live? It's not an enthusiast.
Are you thinking like lives?
Possibly some lives, but like my first thing I'm going to start doing is just like if there's one thing I can teach you today, it'll be this. I'm going to rip a ball, go show you the movement, and then I'll like voice over that movement.
Dude, I think that's fucking genius, man. I think we need that.
Well, like this is the other thing too, is like when it comes to personal training, like if you're recovering from an injury, there's a lot of work we have to do at the base first, right? Like I have to make sure that your ankles move the way they should, your toes move, the knees, every joint has to like move and it has to like be strong and stable enough to like earn the right to do push-ups or do squats or do deadlifts. Like we see positive push-ups all the time, but like when a common thing is like arms way out and people are like this, your shoulders are as internally rotated as they could go. They have nowhere to go. That is a shoulder destroyer. So like as like a first-time client, I would have took you like 10 steps back from the push-up, 10 steps back from the deadlift. You got to take it right down to the like how every single joint moves and how it reacts and how stable and how long it can hold these positions before we start like really loading people or putting a real demand on their body, right?
Because we're fucking all different genetics, man. We're all like literally different. Yeah,
we're all different phenotypes, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. You got to bring it back to that germination stage and find out how they grow. And being a dad right now, man, that makes me think of that too. Like how my kids are growing and like their kids, how they're going to grow, man. It's so cool, man, that you can bring it back. I never looked at it like that before, man. When I look at exercise, I look at like work. I'm like, this is work. But I think you got a cool spin on it.
Kids are the prime example. I actually used to teach a class like this, and it's like just like basic movements, right? Shout it to GMB Fitness. If anybody wants to just like, you can go and hit them up. They have these programs that teach these things, these like basic movements. But a lot of this is like stuff that's borrowed from yoga and gymnastics and calisthenics and these things like this. And they're just body weight movements. But you look at a child, like look at a little toddler crawling around on the ground. When it's crawling around on the ground, does it get up and be like, oh, my fucking back, or like, oh, make those what we call dad noises? You sit down on a couch, you sit down on the couch. We lose that. We as adults, because we're sitting around, we're doing this. But like, as you can see there, like when you're crawling, when you're loading your hands and your wrists and your knees and you're moving through this 3D world, because the world isn't just like squat up and down, deadlift up and down. It is 3D. Everything you reach for, everything you try to spray, when you try to defoliate, when you're moving around, like weird seeing myself do that.
That was a fucking pretty. That was a pretty good dance. That was a pretty good dance move, man. I kind of like that.
Trying to make my way around the fucking microphone as we do this here.
Oh shit!
But like we lose that, right? Like babies are their toes are mobile, their hands are mobile, right? Like my hands and my feet should do the same thing. Your toes should be wide open and moving around, but we lose that because as adults we put our feet in socks and then we put them in fucking sneakers and then we tie the shit out of those sneakers and your feet get bunions. And you always hear like, well, my grandma had bunions and my mom had bunions, so I have bunions. No, actually you have shit taste in footwear that's been squeezing and constricting your feet and binding them up like bondage every day, right? Like your toes should be wide open. And that's how we like keep our ankles mobile, which keeps our calves happy, which keeps our knees happy, which keeps our glutes happy. And it's like so on and so forth. Because like the whole body works as this system where like if your glutes aren't strong enough, then your shoulders are probably going to go forward. Like, you know what I mean? Like things fall forward. Your knees are going to cave in. If your posture's off. So it's like, yeah, the prime example there in their little diagram, right? We lose the play in our life. We lose the monkey and the frog and the cartwheel and the fucking around and just the nonsense. We lose that. So we become like stale.
I like my back hurts right now thinking about it, man, because like I remember being a kid, man, I didn't even think about pain. You don't think about any of that, man. And then you get to a point in your life where like I smoke weed to make my back feel better, man, so I can go play football and frisbee with my kids. I think you should do this, man. I think this should be like a weekly thing and then turn it into like a daily thing. I'm in. I'm there. I'm there. I will bring anybody I can from my community. I'm there.
We're going to help everybody, man. This is how I can help, right? Like I'm going to be gone in about 3 to 4 weeks. I want to get set back up in a new spot. We set up the new little studio, so it'll be about a month or so. We're going to be doing these like weekly. Right now, obviously, the house is like boxes and fucking stuff everywhere. But we'll probably touch on a few things. But like, it's like you say, like, you know, you got a bad back hurts. Your bad back is actually just a symptom of something else, of like a weak core and weak glutes that are letting your low back down. Your low back isn't bad. It's just taking up way more of the brunt.
You're making me sit up straight now. I wish I could actually like. Right? I feel like this is like straight, but then sometimes, man, when I'll get high and I'll get like almost tense back. You ever get tense back when you're high?
Yeah, man, I do that all the time.
And I kind of got to give it a good roll back. Good rollback. Anyways, that's besides the point. I don't know where we're headed, but like that rollback feels good. It is core, man. Like I'm just out of shape. And to be honest with it, like the weed plays such a strong role in my life to help me do what we do on here, but it also has some negative tendencies as well. And I can get caught in the phone, and I can get caught doing things that I shouldn't be doing, right? So I would love to be part of this, man. I'm pumped to be part of this. So when are we starting this? We got to start it soon. When are we doing this?
I'll probably try and start this today or tomorrow then, where everybody's so energetic about it. We'll find one thing to do today. I'll show you something after this. Like, it's like you're saying, like neck and shoulders and stuff. Like, if this, like, God, see, I'm so passionate about this. It's like, but like this muscle, this fucking muscle is like, there's so many layers on it. It's like, But like if your chest muscles are really tight, right, which it usually are, especially the pec minor, which kind of runs from the shoulder here and comes out like a fan like this. If this is tight, it's a fairly small muscle that pulls the shoulder or the pec in. If that's going to happen, now your shoulders roll forward. When that happens, now our center of gravity isn't where it belongs, right?
Yeah.
But your body will subconsciously fix your center of gravity. Because you can't have your head forward, you would just fall forward. So if your head is going to be forward and your shoulders are going to be forward, now it's going to try to like tuck your tailbone. It's going to try to move your low back. So it's like we got to show you how to just like these little simple things to do to just like open up your shoulders a little bit, open up your chest a little bit, so to take some of that tension off. And especially for like people like yourself, like parents, man, especially with like kids, some of these like movements we're going to show you are pretty damn fun when you have children with you as well. Because like a lot of it, you don't need weights. We don't need anything. We just need like just clear a little space in your living room or in your basement or something like that. And it's like body weight, but we're doing like jumping like a frog or a monkey or crawling like a bear. And it looks stupid at times. You'll be like, I don't understand what this workout is. And then I teach classes of it. And people are 10 seconds into it and a sweat's dripping off them. And they're like, how in the fuck is that so difficult? What is that? And that's like, you explain it to him. It's like, well, like, as you put your hand down, I'm loading the hand, I'm loading the fingers, I'm loading my wrists, my elbow, my shoulder. As I move through that, now I'm off center through the body. So I'm loading my like rib cage, my abdominals, and my back stabilizers, and my hips. And but like the whole time we're getting this like sneaky mobility. Like, you don't have to sit in a position and push through it and just like do yoga and like hold this position. As you move through it, it's like this natural stretch. And because you're loaded under tension, your body's like a little more willing to allow you to stretch a little further through that movement than you would if you were to just like push down and like hold a wrist stretch or something. Because when we're pushing on it, we're kind of just jamming the joint, right? Your body's goal is to protect you, is protect your spine and protect your nerves and protect your joints. So when you're under a bit of tension and you feel strong and then you move through these positions, your body's like, oh, we're good. We're loaded in this posture. I could go a little further here. And it's like this sneaky mobility where I've had people who'd show up to class and they're like late 40s, early 50s, haven't done a squat in fucking ages, like 20 plus years. And like a week to 2 weeks of doing just like some simple basic movements, and they can go ass to grass comfortably. No pain, no discomfort, but it's just like you just improve your stretch tolerance so quickly while also like strengthening the stability and that end of range motion in your joints so fucking quickly.
See, I think you could make
like
it fun
sneaky
too.
Fitness. It's like sneaky fitness.
I think you can make it fun too, because